Waiting to start. Hey guys, welcome to the show, Conspiracy Live. I hope you're all interested tonight in what we've got to talk about. I have my friend Steve here. I'll give you the link to his channel shortly. And we all know Lewis up there in the corner with his big microphone. And without further ado, let's start talking about aliens and the moon and everything. Off you go. Well, I'll post links.
So who wants to start?
So who's the biggest believer out of you two about aliens and UFOs then? Have you actually seen any?
I've seen a couple. I've videoed one, but then I see a couple of weeks later a load of balloons which were spaced apart in a triangular formation, and it seemed like someone have let them off on purpose to make it look like something was up in the sky shining about. Me and my wife see this, but no, I've definitely caught something like flying around at night as well. I've seen a few things flying about like not normal, doing stupid speeds and changing direction and whatever. So they're definitely not satellites.
I think I've seen one when I was younger, because me and my mate Richard and his mum and dad owed some horses, right? They owed the horses, and they was going to go down to the horse farm and like just let them out for a little while. And there's a big park not far from the horse farm, and we all went over there for like a picnic and everything, yeah. And this was in Bexley in Kent, and I'm talking about 37 years ago. We was all sitting there, just like minding our own business, and we noticed that, all the other people kept looking up in the sky, and like there weren't no, we couldn't hear no aeroplanes or helicopters, but everyone kept looking up in the sky. And so, I decided, what they're looking at, and I looked, and it was like a cigar-shaped aircraft, and the flight pattern was very unusual. It'd go left, up, down, right, then left, up, down, right, and then it changed from right, left, up, down, and it wasn't like a slow speed. It was quite fast. It's probably faster than an airplane anyway, and it done that for about 3 or 4 minutes. Then all of a sudden it just shot straight up and disappeared. Now 2 days later in the papers, it stated that hundreds of people state that they saw a UFO. So was it a UFO, or was it some kind of like weather balloon that had quite a fast speed to it? Because with the technology we got now, we always mucking around with something, aren't we? Especially the government anyway. Mm-hmm. So I was just wondering if it might have been some kind of like government experiment that was down there or something, but it was in the papers like hundreds of people see UFO while picnicking in the park in Bexley. So that's the only time I've ever seen one.
It maybe was. Maybe was, Steve. I mean, the technology that the government's got, you've got to remember in the early 70s and 80s and 90s, you had this, what is it, the Blackbird? People thought that was alien. You had the stealth bomber. People thought that was alien. No, what the government are doing.
Well, talking about technology 100 years ago, we didn't have this stuff. And if you think before the 100 years ago, thousands of years, we had no technology. So in it kind of strange that we suddenly get all this technology within a 100-year period.
Yeah, that's exactly what my dad said to me the other day. Back in I think it was the 40s or the 30s, maybe the 30s, World War I, World War II-ish sort of times. There was craft known as the Foo Fighters. You must have heard about that. I was saying about it the other day, and they were like unidentified flying objects. I didn't know if they were German or what, but it turned out so-called. They say they weren't German craft, and that they were these other flying objects that they couldn't pinpoint, and they were doing all sorts of like crazy maneuvers whilst the war was going on. So there was obviously, from what my sort of view is, they were watching what was happening.
Well, they do say though, during the World War II, kind of era,
Mm.
Germans had a lot more kind of like advanced weaponry than we did.
Yeah.
Like the V1, V2 rockets.
Yeah.
Then they made the other one, which was the New York rocket, and that technology, no one had. It's just the Germans, and they reckon that certain countries are actually given more high spec technology each year from aliens.
Do you want anything to say, Chris, or before I speak? Sorry.
No, you go, I'm just like the controller here. I'm listening. I'll make a couple of comments after when you go.
Okay, mate. So yeah, what you were
I'm talking to
saying
the people in the chat
about this advanced tech, it just seems. I've done a bit of studying, a few years back now, but looking into like the first solid state transistor, and then you've got the first LED light that they created. It all happened within the period of the Roswell incident, which is big cover up. But the funny thing was, when the Roswell accident happened, it was written in the papers it was a UFO, and loads of papers wrote articles on it. And then 2 days later, it got removed from the papers completely, and then it was all covered up. So it just makes sense that the fact that technology has gone from the sort of lowest of low end kind of things you can think of to now we've like advanced to like quantum computing now, which is like using multiple verses of realities to. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's from what the science.
I've seen that.
From what the science is saying, and you can sort of use these computers online as well to do your experiments if you're a scientist and you've got the knowledge to what stuff to put into the thing. But it just makes sense that they've got information technology from some kind of civilizations, whether it's us in the future or something else that's come down to sort of rule the world. But I think if that's the case, it's been going on for centuries and more.
If you think about it, like scientists have found artifacts and like drawings in caves where even back in the caveman time they've seen like pictures of things in the sky. And then there's that thing about how the hell did the Egyptians carry great big massive hundreds of tons of rock across the desert to make pyramids and the Sphinx and stuff like that.
Exactly.
It's like alien technology,
And yeah. Go on. Sorry, carry on. I think he's jammed up. I don't know. Has he stopped?
Steve? I think it's because we're talking about this subject.
Can you hear us, Steve, still?
This is what.
Yeah.
Yes, you were saying about the pyramids and that, but then you look at Stonehenge and the stones that are at Stonehenge. Some of them stones are from thousands of miles away, apparently. Well, I can't say that for a fact because I've never gone there. Actually, I'm not like some archaeologist, so I can't really say for a fact. But according to people that have done the research on the stones and whatever, and the archaeologists, they're from miles and miles away, and it wouldn't even taken the actual size of them and the weight of them. They wouldn't have had the conventional sort of abilities to move them rocks.
Well, I'll just see.
Look at that.
I told Chris the other night. Actually, I watched the video on YouTube. It was like a little bit of a documentary about, Mars, and apparently, the government have got pictures from the rover that's on Mars of like different structures, such as like pyramids, sphinxes. They've seen images of like large statue heads, which similar to the ones on Easter Island. They've even seen like things such as like the Stone Age, like the Stonehenge, and they reckon that we may have been, the people living on Mars, but something happened, and we somehow was able to, get ourselves off Mars and come to the to Earth, and like they were saying, kind of like things from Mars, onto planet Earth.
Yeah, I actually believe that myself.
That's possible.
I actually believe that, and as much as people can theorize it and say, "Oh, it's just like a kind of a theory," it kind of rings in. There's some kind of truth that rings through me. I can't explain it. It's like I look into it, and it just makes sense that the planet used to be habitable, and there used to be like I think the moon has been moved. Yeah, I personally think the moon is one big sort of station. They've moved it.
I
I
believe
really think
that.
that.
Well, I
And-
reckon the moon was a chunk of rock that came off, the Earth. But if you look at the pictures of the moon, seriously, right? You look at the pictures of the moon. There's theories that the moon was once populated by some kind of life form, and all those craters from nuclear explosions. Just the same as like Mars. Mars got hit by some kind of like atomic energy. It started like wiping out the whole civilization on Mars, and they had to get off Mars. So there's it could be a possibility that we lived on the moon. The moon got hit by aliens, or we done something to the moon. Then we travelled over to Mars. Then we screwed Mars up. Now we're on this planet, and look what we're doing to this planet. We're fucking this planet up, excuse my French. So where are we going to go next, Jupiter?
Yeah. You say that, but I kind of like have with the moon. From what I see with the moon, if you look at the moon through a telescope or through not binoculars, through like a high zoom camera or whatever, and even through science, if you look into it, I know you can't really trust scientists, but to an extent you can. Every sort of crater on the moon is only a certain depth, and it doesn't go any deeper. And that just tells me, and it rings alarm bells. And even in the ufology, sort of these people that study ufology, they've come to the conclusion that can't be some kind of inhabitant place. It's actually like some kind of either it's a rock or something that's been sculptured or made by something, and that's like a base. Because for things to be hitting it and not going deeper than a certain depth, and it to have so much, like I think it's got what the hell just happened to my screen then? Is that you flicking about with the screen, mate?
No, I'm using my phone to comment to the.
Oh, right, things are coming up on my screen. So basically, the depth of impacts, it can only go a certain depth, which means that they've already said that there's sort of some kind of metal or metallic or whatever it is in the surface. It's like not a solid core, but parts of it are made of heavy metals, should I say. It makes more sense for it, 'cause if you was to say it came from the Earth and the Earth's been hit and then it's created a moon, it's a possibility. But if the thing's full of metal, then it's a bit hard to sort of look at it like that and think, oh, is it come from the Earth? It's just sort of I don't know. I can't answer that question because
that's some of the theories that the moon was created by something that hit planet Earth, a chunk come off the Earth, and somehow 100,000 years that chunk of like rock formed itself into the moon. It's just theory, there's no real proof,
Yeah. Even when you look at that, I'm sorry to keep jumping in. Even when you look at the moon and they say that it's come from the Earth as well, the fact that the way it rotates around the Earth it's like a set orbit. It doesn't move. It doesn't spin around or anything. It just makes it more. It makes it more of a likelihood that something's in control of it. And they say from Mars.
There's Aaron.
If dinosaurs on the planet,
I'm just going to say.
Is the dinosaurs on the other planets?
I suppose there's life forms out there.
Probably, yeah. I wouldn't say no, mate. You might probably is. There's probably
off your subject there when you go.
They've taken a lot of time to start looking into what's on Mars, but they still haven't taken a lot of time to continue the research on the other side of the moon, have they? So why haven't they done that side of the back side of the moon before they start looking onto Mars?
Yeah. No, exactly. No, that's because I think it's a base. That's why I think it is. I think it's got to be a base. I might be wrong. I'm not saying it is a base. I'm just saying I think that it is.
Think about it. Right, look at Mars, right? It's got a moon called Phobos, right? Every moon in our galaxy, in our region, right, rotates. Why does the moon not rotate?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah, it just
Every
makes
other
sense.
moon rotates.
Because the moon
Moon
never
acting.
had an atmosphere like Earth and possibly the Mars did. You know,
Yeah.
we've got an atmosphere. Mars had an atmosphere. Moon was just a dead planet.
Mm.
It never had an atmosphere.
There's another safe theory, because you can't say for a fact anything really, that the Mars, when it inhabited life, obviously it had a larger moon, and now we've got a moon. Yeah, so the moon's one of the they say the moon is one of the most important things to keeping a planet, keeping everything working, like sort of like you're saying the tides, or the way that the gravity from the gravity from the moon and the earth, the way they mingle together, it creates sort of like tidal forces. It also does something with keeping the earth's atmosphere and stuff like that. I can't really explain it because I'm not that sort of intelligent, but I know that the moon that used to be around Mars when it was a planet, shall I say, has buggered off, kind of thing. And that's what scientists believe anyway, and some like ufologists, I'd say, that it's basically the planet was done whatever. There was a massive explosion. You can see there's all scarring on the surface. Whoever was on there has managed to get off, as you're saying, and then we've all buggered off to the next planet in line, which is still in the habitable zone because Mars is as well. And yeah, they've just like sort of resettled this sort of planet. That could be it. But anyway, that's enough.
Well, they said they'd probably come to this planet because like Jupiter and the other one, what's the other one? Jupiter and Saturn wasn't
Saturn.
inhabited because of the the atmosphere on there
Too big. Yeah.
was
It's
no
Saturn.
good.
It's Saturn. Oh, I can't pronounce it now.
Saturn.
Aye, Saturn.
Saturn.
Aye, that's
Saturn.
Yeah,
Saturn.
they reckon
Saturn.
that there's no chance that anything could lift on there. You know, there might be microorganisms.
Sorry, English is so wrong then.
You know what I mean? But they reckon probably like micro life on there.
Yes.
But you know, you think about it, you know, micro life, you know, such as like a little flea, over time they can grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. No, because like how many times they said that we were actually, you know, humans came from ape. How many people? You know, then they were saying that we came from the sea. Talking about the sea, they reckon that there's alien life forms, you know, with big cities in the deep, deep depths of the sea which we can't reach.
Yeah.
The Mariana Trench is the deepest.
There's supposed to be a underwater city run by aliens over near America somewhere.
I mean, you've seen footage from the planes flying over the Med. I think it was the Med or some kind of one of the oceans, and there was all lights underground and under the sea. What I was going to say, if you look at sort of humanity and you look at the different types of people there's I don't know whether it's us as a human species that are created, our sort of like helped to create our genes and like mold ourselves around things. But you what I can say is like you always find like a woman or a bloke who buys who has a dog and the dog looks like him. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a similarity between them. But yeah, Dome. But what was I going to say? You see people that look like people have got like dolphin shaped faces, like the chin, like it's just weird. Like I've got a friend who's got like a face that looks almost like a dolphin. It's really fucking weird. And also about swearing. And yeah, just like you get different sort of species of animals and they just like look like part like humans look partly like them. It's weird. I think we've just all been experimented on with our genes and mixed, breeded with all sorts of things. I don't know. It could be that.
Did you ever watch that movie with The Rock, Doom, where he goes up to that planet?
Oh, I did. Aye, yeah. And they teleport there because I've seen it.
Alien, I think that was based on like, you know, not Saturn but the Mars, and they reckon that, you know, well, in the movie they come to like a 25th chromosome or whatever it is, and we've only got 24. And now they're actually stating here on UK that there is a possibility that there is such a 25th chromosome on this planet, and they're trying to research it at the moment, and they think it might be from some kind of like animal or mammal from the oceans. So
There's
like,
Doom asking a
So I'm just
question.
reading the comments. Glenn's put, goodbye, folks. Keep up the good work.
There's
Bye.
Doom saying, so why can't we get to the moon? Obviously, that's what it means. I don't think we went there in the first place.
I reckon we have been to the moon. You know, the first couple of times was like a load of bull crap, because like a lot of people got the video and stripped those videos to pieces. You can see that, you know, the shadows weren't real shadows. You know, you can see string on, you know, bits and pieces. The way the person was walking or jumping, you know, you can't jump like they did. You know, you can get that kind of jump in the sand, yeah, but not on the sand, you know, kind of thing. So they reckon the first 2 attempts was a load of bull crap, but you know, now they are saying we had actually, honestly and truly, been up there. But how many times we've really been up there? They say we've been up there a good couple of dozen times. I don't think so. So I would have had a lot more evidence and a lot more proof. But the government don't want to show that proof today.
I think that, Gonna say, I think there's some secrecy, real high level secrecy. I've watched quite a few documentaries, but not really anything like that. Bob Lazar and all that kind of thing, you know. Like
conspiracy theories, mate.
Yeah, I'd say conspiracy. Like I think there must be some communication with these beings, in order for us to be out. If we have gone to the moon to get there, because I think it's like Rome. I think it's completely ram-packed with extraterrestrials up there. I really do, and there's been so many videos of things coming. I'm gonna actually show you this video so you can see it. What I found today.
I bring it up so I can screen
have a
share
look
it
at
on
this,
the
mate.
screen.
You got the screen, yeah. This is one.
Yep, I'm in control.
No,
There's full screen.
All right, where are we? Where is that video? Hang on a minute. I can't remember what it is. Go back to normal stream quickly. I need to find it. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, he was losing things. You're always
No, I
losing
did. I
things.
downloaded it and I forgot.
There's Ian in the chat. Steve.
1 sec. Let me just find this video.
Well, can I just show you this one, which I found a while ago? Let me show you this one.
Aye. Bring it up.
Hang on a minute. I'll get back onto the screen. Is that? Yeah, hang on. Right, so there's two here, but this one was a little bit interesting. This one here, thing is, it's about 2 minutes long.
Need to mute your mic. That's better. Cheers. Thanks, man.
I think it's similar to the one that Lewis was going to show. I'm not sure. I've got 2 videos here that I could quickly show you.
Flashing light in there, yeah.
Now it does zoom in. Now it looks similar to the one that Lewis showed us earlier, and this video was taken a year ago. So that's similar to the one you showed earlier, isn't it?
See, no, it's just, I don't know.
Well, it looks a little bit similar.
Yeah, no, yeah, you can see.
There's that one. That one goes on for about 2 minutes, but then there's this one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now this again was 9 months ago.
Yeah.
Watch.
Must be using the P9000, 1000. Ah, you can see them.
3 spacecraft flying across the planet. And it goes to the dark side.
Yeah.
So
see,
what is it? It's not something else. It can't be CGI.
They look like them little things that are on Cindy Lou's video that are sitting on the actual surface. Yeah.
But if you look at it, you know, it's casting a shadow right there on the moon. And on the other video, it looks like it had like an airstream on one or two of them. So, you know, is there really something on the moon that, you know, the government's hiding?
I think there is.
All right, here you go.
Put yours up there.
Yeah, stick mine up, mate. This is the one, mate.
There you go.
You can see, yeah?
I'll give the full image. Makes it better. That's
All
it.
right, mate.
There you go.
It's got no sound. I didn't record it because the sound, because I didn't have the programs. I didn't sort the program out.
As anyways, music. Yeah. I mean, what in God's name is that?
See, to me,
You seen this doom?
circular.
It goes behind the moon as well. So it looks like it. When I was watching the video, because I only recorded part of it. When I watched the video, it starts off like a small mountain, and then it sort of gradually gets bigger. So it seems like there's more either UFOs or whatever joining together, or it's something just like
A big space station or something.
Yeah, something up there.
That's what it is. Doom's right.
During the day.
They reckon that I don't know, Chinese or the Russians, they're trying to build a massive space station to send up to outer space within the next century or whatever.
And then I've got this one video I want to show you as well, because this is quite when I'm recording the moon, sometimes Cindy Lou will know this as well as Bruce Cecil and people who video the moon. When it's a full moon, they always do something. They put something in front of the moon. I know it sounds ridiculous, but they somehow mask the moon, yeah, to stop you from being able to see like the surface properly.
Aye.
And this guy called it on his video.
Maybe that's what the chemtrail is.
No, but they use something. There's actually something in front, like out in space. They've put up there to like sort of camouflage it. But you'll see it in this video. I'm only going to play a few minutes of it, but you'll see. Let me get to it. This is Donny of Daytona. So, where is it? God, the video's going a bit slow. I think it's because I've got too many things going on at once. So, have you noticed this? Yeah. As the moon's getting closer, this isn't his lens flare. For some reason, he's saying it's not a lens flare, but there's some like little spot in the middle. You could say, oh, that's just a lens flare. But when the moon here gets inside of this round, whatever it is, fast forward a bit more, it changes, and you get to see it. Come on, mate, hurry up.
It's more like a pinkish colour, isn't it?
Yeah, look, see that you can see the edge of the. You can see the edge of this sort of like lens system, and I know that this, well, from what I believe, this is real because I've seen the moon. I mean, I've seen the sun being eclipsed by something, but you can still see the sun, but it doesn't feel powerful, and there's no haze in the sky or nothing. And you probably seen this before, and you felt it. Like you look up in the sky, and the sun just doesn't seem normal. It just seems like an LED rather than anything. But you can see where the moon's gone back into this sort of, call it a filter, that's in space. It doesn't really do it justice, this video, but you can see it's kind of like, he said it's definitely not a lens flare, but it might just be a lens flare. I might be completely wrong. But when I do take videos of the moon, when that's happening and I can't see it, there is this red sort of, these red squares that go around my camera. I've shown my wife a few times, and I'm like, this is definitely something that's covering up so I can't see the surface properly. And also, when you see the terminator line on the moon, you can only see the valve of that part of the moon. See what I'm saying? Like you can only see like structures on that little line. Everywhere else just looks blurry or just not really clear. It's just weird. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rabbiting on and let you carry on. There's an energy shield. Yeah, that's what. And Doom was saying it before. They've got some kind of energy shield, or there's some projection system that's coming off the surface, because I've seen lights as well, and like really bright lights. Just makes no sense. I've
always said, you know, I don't care what people say. I can't see we're the only people out there, the only kind of like humanoid out there.
No.
You know, the solar, God knows how many solar systems out there, galaxies. No, there's got to be life on other planets. We can't be the only ones.
Well, there's more galaxies in the universe than sand particles in Earth.
Yeah. Well, they reckon that.
I mean,
they've got video now of like a black hole heading our way. So what's in that black hole? That's like another galaxy, isn't it? There's hundreds of galaxies and black holes.
Sorry, my
What's
dog's
that, the sun?
Uh,
The doggy. Steve's got a cat.
He does it every time I'm on the live stream. He just wants to get attention. I'm just messaging my wife to say, "Come and grab the dog, please." I would never do a live stream. That's something getting.
There's Jan Doe. There's Jan Doe got an interesting thing. The sun did used to be yellow.
Yeah.
Do you know? It's not yellow anymore. It's
some days it is, and other days it's white. There's only a few days I usually see it when it's yellow, and most of the time it's white. But then I think, is that because they've been pumping out loads of stuff? Because I know that the particles that they put up there, the aluminium and what else they put up there, can make the sun change color because it's refracting the light. So that can create a sort of it's like putting a prism in front of something. You know, you're changing the light spectrum so it would look white. But no, you can definitely feel. You can.
With all the toxic waste we've been producing over the God knows how many years, I wouldn't be surprised they're sending ships up there with toxic waste and throwing it into the sun.
Yeah, it's possible.
I mean, there's Doomshow. He's saying the sun's dying, right? Even if you went to Mars, if the sun died, you would freeze to death. Unless you dug down at the core of the Earth, you know, where it would keep you alive.
Well, if the sun died, it's probably going to die either with a supernova and explode and destroy practically everything in its path, or it's going to just like go out just like a candle. You've blown a candle out, and it's going to end up being like another moon. That's how I see it.
Jane put, how can they make a statement that like that about sand particles without other knowing more? I tell you, somewhere that alien craft are sucking the fuel from the sun to power their craft. Yeah, Clint believes that, doesn't he? That's quite a good theory, mate. Because you know what, you see so many objects around. You see so many objects around the sun.
They reckon, you know, some planets were.
If the sun dies, we all die. Of course we'll die.
You know, that's how a planet starts off, just by particles, and the particles like join together. Well, getting bigger and bigger over like millions and billions of years.
I was going to say that I watched a guy today from only a short amount of his clip, probably about an hour long, but he lives in America. He's done like he's off the grid kind of thing. He's got his own like he's farming and whatever, and he's completely made his house shielded from EMFs and all that kind of stuff. And he was saying that he's obviously got a friend who does YouTube channels. I don't know. I didn't look at the YouTube channel, but this guy's been studying the weather patterns around the whole of the globe, and he's been comparing it and like the how much sunlight's getting in and God knows what else. And he was saying that it's not, we shouldn't be worrying about the any of all this sort of cabal stuff that's going on. It's more about the energy from the sun, which is at like its minimum or something like that, which is going to cause effects on crops and all that kind of stuff. That's what he was talking about. I only watched it for about 2 or 3 minutes, but it was quite a good bit of information. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But you just don't know, do you? So, but yeah, the sun's energy is obviously getting less. So there is what I'm saying about saying that the sun's dying or whatnot, kind of points towards it being less powerful. So
I was going to say, Lewis, do you want to tell everybody in the chat about the guest tomorrow we've got on? Have you arranged it?
Yeah, I've got my friend called I've forgotten his name. God, I can forget names. My brain. Neil.
We'll need to take Neil,
so Neil Beckham is going to be on tomorrow night. He is related to David Beckham, and he does like what he does for his career kind of thing is rapping, but he's had some really he's had quite a few amazing experiences. One, he actually see a UFO, like a close encounter, and some stuff happened, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. Also,
I'm looking forward to it tomorrow.
Also, that he's invited me to go up and see him because he said that there's a location near where his house is. It's about 20 minutes away. That he goes to. It's in the middle of nowhere, and if you go there at night and you basically like ask these extraterrestrials to show themselves, and all sorts of random stuff starts happening. So in the sky, obviously. And yeah, I'm going to go up there and see it. It's somewhere in sort of one of the shears. I can't remember what it is. Something shear. I can't remember where it is. I'll have to have a look on the Google map. It's somewhere near Wales, sort of around sort of say northeast of Wales, up that sort of area. Cambridge, something near. No, not that's quite far over. Near Cambridge. That's all I know. Somewhere near Cambridge.
I don't think that's near Wales.
Sounds interesting.
No, it's to the left of Cambridge. So that when I look at a map, I just think, oh, Cambridge is there. It's only a couple miles that way, but it ain't. It's like probably like 150 miles to the left of it. But
Hey,
yeah.
Lewis.
Come.
Lewis.
Yeah.
See what Steve's got sitting next to him? Is that a Ouija board, Steve?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! And it's got a pyramid on it and all. Or is that just a little?
You know, my paranormal investigator, I've been doing 8 years. Of course, I do Ouija board sessions. I did one the other night, didn't I?
Do you come across anything extremely aggressive?
Not aggressive, but on the live stream one night, and I've got it on video as proof. 100%, a black apparition appeared in my living room when I was live streaming here.
No way.
And I caught an apparition running down the hallway. I've got one of an orb, a light energy ball, comes across the kitchen, and it shoots up. And as you stop it, as it comes across, if you pause it quick enough, and as it shoots up, it shows like it's like some kind of angelic being. So
yeah, that's great. I believe that.
I've got a lot of shit on my channel. I
have to
listen, guys in the chat. Listen, guys in the chat. You need to check out Steve's channel. I've gave you the link umpteen times to his channel, and also, can you please go to Lewis's channel, Tate, and give him a subscribe, a share, and a like.
I don't know. What is my channel?
My channel is 100% real, raw, uncut, because most of it is live streams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I don't.
Seen some weird shit happening on my channel, live streaming, like pulsating orbs.
Mine is. I was going to say mine's the Inner Truth. Obviously, everyone probably knows my channel. I don't know if everyone's signed up to it, but the Inner Truth. But what I was going to say is you were saying about the orbs and that. Funny, because when I was this was like in 2009, I looked at a few photos on my friend's Facebook. Well, this girl I was looking at her Facebook, and there's a picture of her in a hospital, and she had broken her leg and she had it in the plaster and whatever. And they took a photo, and in that photo there was an orb in the room, and I zoomed into it, and there was like a picture of like it was a guy who had, I don't know, he didn't have no ears, but he was like. There was like a white face, and it was smiling. It had eyes and everything like that. It had no ears for some reason. I don't know why. But when I showed it to her, she proper tripped out. I was just like, look what was with you in the hospital. And she was like, what? I was like, look closer. I zoomed in, and she's like, oh my God. It's just like, I proper paranoid her out. She was just all like, oh.
I'll tell you, a lot of you can see a lot of stuff in photos. All ITC, even in the blocky blueness, you can make out faces. You get a picture and you zoom into it, you can see all these weird little faces. Like my daughter, when she first was pregnant, she went and got a scan, an X-ray of the baby, and we could see face clearly in the X-ray picture, and it looks a bit like my dad, her granddad. So
that's
but
mad.
now she's pregnant again. A couple of weeks ago, she went to the local hospital to get another X-ray, and guess what? There's another face in the X-ray picture.
No way.
Seriously. So I know my daughter has like some kind of she doesn't really like a lot of like ghost hunting stuff. She believes a little bit of it, but she's even seen some stuff, kind of thing. And I said, like, it's nothing to worry about. It's not like always say, you know, all these demons and dark energies will, you know, jump and attack you and like scratch you and beat your shit out of you. It's not like that. They're just trying to communicate with you, I suppose, and pass on messages. And you know, I've only ever been attacked twice in my whole 8 years.
Yeah, I know. I've been. I wouldn't say. I'd certainly say attacked, but I've definitely felt someone. Call it an attack. It wasn't really an attack, but I wound up my my second girlfriend who I was with for like 3 years, and I think it was her mum, because her mum passed away when I just got with her, and I was in my bedroom, or actually in my sister's bedroom. Anyway, I was laying down in bed waiting for her to get home because we was arguing and stuff. She lived in Hertford, obviously. I lived in Essex at the time, and I was just about 10 minutes before I was going to ring her. I laid down in bed to just like sleep for a couple of minutes and then wake up and give her a call. It's sort of like 1 o'clock in the morning, and something came and was just like sort of grabbing me on the bed. It was really like a profound experience. I can't explain it. Like someone was like just putting negative energy and just holding me down, but it wasn't like I was having paralysis or anything like that, because I know you can sort of have where you're awake and asleep at the same time. But this was like this person was doing it to me, and I could feel it. It wasn't like I was being beaten up or nothing, but it was something there. So I think it was her mum having a go at me.
I just cut them up after died, and that's how I got into it, because I had sleep paralysis, woken up freezing, you know, I couldn't move. I had doors open, shadow movements, doors open, shutting, footsteps. You know, that's what got me into the paranormal. But I do believe in different kind of like aspects of the paranormal, such as like I do believe in UFOs and different kind of alien life forms on different planets. I believe in some of the kind of stuff which is like, you know, the Yeti, the abominable snowman, Bigfoot. You know, I've never seen it myself because I don't live in that country, but I believe there's got to be something out there. You know, we're not the only things on this planet.
Yeah. I'm trying to find that picture. Remember, Steve, I sent you a picture. It was an image of a ghost I caught in a mirror. I'm trying to look for it. Remember that? I sent it to you a while ago. I'm trying to find it. I was going to send it to Lewis.
I've got so many photos. I've got so many pictures of me catching images in the mirror in my living room.
I took a photo in my ex-girlfriend's house once. Obviously, this is after her mum was passed and whatnot. I was on my own in the front room. I was watching ITV, and I took a photo because I just went and bought a new. This was when the Sony Ericsson K750 phone came out. I think it was a K750i. Really good phone. And I took a couple photos. I didn't think nothing of it, and then went home, and my cousin come round for the weekend because she's staying over for some reason. And I downloaded the images onto I plugged the phone into the PC, and she was going through my photos, and she was like, "Oh, what's that on the TV?" I went, "What do you mean?" Anyway, there was this sort of this pixelated face staring straight at me, like it was like a blue-hued pixelation.
That's what I've got.
Of some. It looked like an old what should I call them? What can I call it? Like a historic figure, say like 1700s or whatever. You know, the Tudors with like the Tudor sort of times with the thingies. They had earrings and the hair was really long and it was just weird. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, it scared the crap out of me at the time. And I couldn't believe it. So I took the phone into my work with me. I was working at Sainsbury's and I was showing people this photo. I was like, look at this, it's amazing. Look what's on my TV. And they was like, bloody hell, that's crazy. And then all of a sudden, like, when I was looking at the photo, with the K750 phone, what happens with the screen, if you turn it to a specific angle, you know, with old LCD screens, when you turn them, they start to change colour and stuff, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the screen colour changed, and the picture of a woman's face just appeared. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe my eyes. It was fascinating. I wish I still had the photo. I wish I still had it.
Check the image I've just sent both of you. That's an image I caught with my camera. Wait till you see it. I've sent it to you, Lewis, and I've sent it.
Right, don't get me wrong.
Yes, I know.
No, don't get me trying to be big-headed or anything like. Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, face in the mirror.
What the?
Portal.
No way.
Yep, that's a portal.
What do you think of that one, guys, in the chat?
It was connected to and generate portals, allowing spirit communication and like spirit energy to come through mirrors.
That is
Now,
fascinating.
Don't feel big-headed, yeah, because like other people told mediums and stuff like that said I've got like abilities. Now I don't want to say anything to you, Lewis, but
Yeah.
while we've been on here, yeah,
There you go.
Oh.
At the back of your bed.
Yeah.
Right, and I can't see because I got that
So
on.
take this. That's it. Go on.
Right.
I've just mute it. Oh.
Put Lewis on full screen, minute.
That's it.
Right.
Put Lewis on full screen.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
Go on.
Right, at the back of your bed, right?
Yeah.
Orange thing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, just going back a bit more, you got that kind of like wall sticking out. Is it a wall or is it a door?
Yeah. You mean that side? Yeah.
At the back.
There, where I'm pointing.
Right at the back, where you're pointing.
Yeah, where there's a wall sticking out here and it keeps going back.
Yeah.
And then there's a window there. Yeah. Go on.
Right. I've seen tonight at least 4 shadows move around the area. Yeah. Seriously. And I said no because I thought it might just, once or twice, but I know that you just moved your chair and that caused a little bit of shadow.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah. This was like, proper shadow kind of person. And I do believe that you've got someone there.
Yeah, there's definitely someone in there, mate. There's always someone in there. There actually is. There actually is. Yeah.
There's a male there.
There is. What's that? Did you say a male?
A male. There is a male there.
Probably right, mate. Because this used to be a toy shop at one stage, and I'm actually underground, so or half underground. Yeah, and there's always figures or things clicking and tapping. And when we first moved in here, the kitchen used to. The people used to it sounded like someone was washing up in the kitchen. Like I used to think, bloody hell, keep the door closed, I'll be all right. But yeah,
you got a male spirit there.
Yeah, there's definitely.
I'm not saying that how old he is. It could be like the old toy maker, like if there was a toy maker there, But
yeah,
you got someone moving around in that back in your bedroom at times.
Yeah.
I've seen it 4 times.
Mm.
It weren't where you just moved your chair. This
Yeah.
had the bubbly
Yeah.
No, this had a bubbly figure, and it was like when you bring your chair around, it actually, the shadow covers that whole wall. It's covering half the wall.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing. If you play it back, you might see it, you might not. That's how
I'll have a look at it, definitely.
But I'm definitely seeing something moving around in here.
Lewis will be sleeping the night with the Bible clutched in his hand and a crucifix.
I've got a mate called Steve who passed away a couple of years ago, and he's Scottish actually. Funny enough, and it's funny how I bumped into Chris. It's just weird coincidences, but I guarantee he probably lived down the road from me, Chris, mate. If in all honesty, I'll have to find out where his mum his mum passed away now actually as well. But his sisters, I'll have to find out where they live. I bet they live near you, mate. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, he kept coming and showing me all sorts of things. I told him when he dies, make sure you let me know you're still still about and whatever. And he just kept doing one thing after another, and I was just like, mate, it was just like too many things kept happening within the space of like a couple of days. I'm telling you, I wrote a list of about 25 things. I had them on paper. He blew light bulbs. He fucking moved, my language. So again, he moved things in the kitchen. He kept closing and opening the cupboards, and he was doing all sorts of things, mate. He just made me know that he was there, But I did say to him to let me know, so I wasn't scared of.
I'm not saying that I can, it all the time, but sometimes when I kind of like sit and concentrate and listen to people, I can tend to like focus in a little bit more and see if there is something there. It's like a gift and ability that I got, and I've had it for 4 or 5 years. And every time I've seen someone on live stream and I've seen something, I've always turned around and said, "Yeah, my place has got spiritual activity. They've had crazy thing happen." And usually, sometimes I can pick up names as well, but I'm not picking up a name on your one. But it's definitely a male there. But when I've been on other people's streams, I said, you've got someone there, it's a female, and I've picked up a name. I've been like practically dead on
Yeah.
don't have a ghost anymore. Steve adopted it.
Yeah,
Your name's Steve as well. That's proper weird, isn't it? How the guy's name was Steve. Well, the guy who my mate passed as Steve. Oh,
Where's Aaron asking you a question, Steve? If he's got any spirits near him now
no, that was to you, wasn't
in
it?
the chat.
You said Scotsman, Lewis. Do I have any
Yeah.
spirit?
No, he's asking me to ask you. He's asking me to ask you.
No, I said it's funny how Steve. It's named Stephen. My mate was named Steve. You might know there's a guy called Steve who was in for you, Steve. I mean for you, Chris, who was living in Scotland. This guy, back in the day, you must know this. There was a guy back in the day who took a car. He was only like 6 years old, and he drove the car around the neighbourhood. And the police were chasing him. This 6-year-old, he could barely see over the steering wheel. I'm sure you would have heard it. It was in the newspapers and everything. I'm surprised you don't know about it.
Maybe it did. Maybe I don't read newspapers.
I'll have to send you the paper, mate. Go and carry on,
Aye,
Steve.
mate.
Anyway.
So what I'm saying, I
Previously?
can't pick up, like, if everyone on side chat's got like a spirit person in their house. Usually I can pick them up if I'm actually seeing them on a live stream. Then that's, more easier for me. But sometimes, like a few nights ago, actually, I was picking up that there was a spirit coming from somewhere on chat. And I said like a name called Aggie. And two people actually said they knew a person called Aggie. And I said, it's a female. Her proper name was Agnes. She liked a bit of a drink, especially gin. And one person on side chat said to me, Steve, you ain't going to believe this, but I used to hang out with someone called Aggie, and she loved drinking gin, and she died 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Now, I can't say if they are telling the truth or not. It's just that, and people might not even believe, half the shit I say sometimes, excuse my French, but, if I do pick up things, I will tell you. And some, there has been an occasion where, I've got the surname wrong or something like that, or the age wrong.
Yeah.
95% of the time, I've been correct. No, I'm not a psychic medium or nothing like that. It's just an ability that I've got.
Some guy I knew, my sister's mate actually, he passed away in a car crash, and the day before, or the day he died, I think it was the same day, or no, the following day he died. I was in the back garden doing something in my dad's greenhouse, just sitting, just minding my own business, and he came into my head, and because he used to like be a bit of call him a bit of a bully. He was a bit of a bully, and I just randomly thought of the guy, and it was like he was saying sorry to me. It didn't make no sense to me because I was thinking, why am I thinking of this guy, and why am I feeling like he's saying sorry or whatever? And then later on the day, I spoke to my other mate Pat, and he turned around and said, "Oh yeah, you know that guy? What's his name? I can't remember his name now. He passed away. Like he crashed his car last night, having a race in London near City Airport." And I was like, "No way!" I was like, "How would I know that guy? Why would I think of that guy unless he'd been shown?"
I'll tell you the way what happens that when people die, they are. I do believe they do get judged to find out if they're going to go heaven or hell. If you believe in heaven or hell, yeah. And to make peace and try to get to the right place, they visit the people who they may have caused, like harm, hatred, bullied, and they go back to that person and get into your brain and say, "I'm sorry for what I've done. Forgive me." Because you don't forgive him, he can't cross over. He's stuck in limbo.
Yeah.
So that's probably why you come. That's why you thought about him. That's why and got into your brain and saying, "Look, it's me. I'm sorry for what I've done."
There you go, Joe Slater. That's his name. It just came to my head.
Can you please forgive me? Because if you don't forgive him, he can't cross over.
Yeah, I think I know like some people. You believe in heaven and hell. I don't have no view on anything. Like I'm open to. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really sure about if there's like a heaven or a hell. But go on, say, Chris.
I don't believe in hell, and I don't believe in heaven. I think there's just an afterlife.
Yeah, that's what I kind of got
But you still have to go through a life review.
Yeah,
I've
seen some like near-death experience, not near-death, near-death experiences where they've explained about this sort of review of what's gone on and looking back and stuff like that. I don't know, because I've never been there, so I can't judge. There might be a heaven and a hell, and to be honest with you, there's a lot of evil people in the world, so for them to be able to get away with it scot-free kind of makes no sense. But at the same time, maybe we've chose to come down here and do what we've done, or people do what they've done, like murder and that, and they've got to experience it. So that's part of, like, I'm going to be the murderer, you're going to be the victim. Like, do you know what I mean? It could be that way. Who knows? Go on, carry on. I'll stop talking now.
You do get a
Jill
choice.
Barnes asking you a question.
Oh, do we get a choice whether we die or stay or go?
They prefer you to move on, right? You know, whoever you get. Let's say there is a heaven and a hell, yeah, right? Let's just say there is. You know, I believe there's a heaven and hell. I believe there's angels and demons, yeah, right? To cross over, you need to, you know, make amends for any wrongdoings before you can cross over, right? Now, there is, like, not just me, I believe, but other people who said that people wish to stay and not cross over because they want to be, you know, with their loved ones. They want to see, like, their grandchildren go up or protect a part of the family, you know, because, like, someone could be, you know, getting beaten up by their boyfriend or husband or whatever all the time. And, you know, it's like a spiritual attraction wanting to be there. You know, if they want to be there, they have a choice to cross over or stay. And, you know, if a spirit wants to stay, they will stay.
Yeah.
And they will, you know, try to protect you. They will try to guide you. See, the thing is, right, this is going to be a bit silly and people will probably think I'm crazy right now, yeah? But when you think of things, right, you know, our brain, you know, scientists haven't really, you know, looked into our brain cells properly anyway, yeah? But the way I see it is that when you think positive, yeah, that's like a spirit inside you giving you those positive thoughts. When you're thinking like you want to harm someone or go and rob someone or break into someone's house, that's the negative side here. That's the negative spirit. Right? Now, it's like a battle inside your brain. Everyone's got it, you know. If you could be getting up tomorrow and thinking positive things. The next day you get up, you could be thinking negative things. And now I believe that is like, you know, spiritually interaction with two spirits that are trying to control you. It's not your brain, it's the two spirits.
Yeah, I think my sort of stand on that is you're no, you're crazy. No, you're crazy. I think my standpoint in that is that you've got your subconscious and your conscious minds. I'd say you look like your higher self, which some people say, which I honestly believe that there's some kind of, whether people call it higher selves. Hang on, let me just read what they just said. All you listeners need to research Chris Evard and everything spiritual. Come on, main man on the subject demons, which is the whole bang. Check him out. All right. I'm saying like the higher self. The higher self is like, could be looked upon as you as a higher self controlling, like, and helping you out along the way. So for instance, when you're driving, gives you the heads up because you're not destined to die, so like you'll slow down for no reason, or you might put a CD in the CD changer and slow down because of that, and then something happens up front, or you might just suddenly think, oh god, put your brakes on because there's a speed camera that you've never come across before, but you've just been told that it's there. That's the kind of like sort of your higher self telling you that. And what else? Where was I getting with that? It was something that Dobby said. Dobby Socks Lewis, and I hope that there's something on the other side. Yeah, no, it's not just that. I think I've had near-death experience before, and there's definitely something after this. I honestly feel I've had out-of-body experiences. There's something that is all loving, all accepting, and just there to sort of take the stress away from you. So like once you've passed over that, the stress is just gone. You don't have to worry about this world no more. And from
A lot of
near,
Well,
sorry to interrupt. A lot of people, and there's a
That's
lot of stories out there saying that where people have near-death experiences, yeah, it's actually changed their life in a different aspect. They treasure each day,
yeah,
and they thank God that they're still there. If they still, if someone dies and they come back, some people said that they've seen nothing but darkness. Some people have said that they've seen the white light, and they've seen like friends and family waiting up there, for them to be collected, but turned around and said, "Look, it's not your time yet. You need to go back.
yeah,
So, you haven't completely died." And when people say that they've had near-death experience, yeah, apparently they do say it's changed their life, and like the life for them is more precious than it was before, and they want to like make amends for things that they may have done wrong in the past. They want to look into the future and like make things a lot more better and help, even help people out more.
yeah. No, you're right.
That I've never ever done like
well,
this.
I might be
After they had a near-death experience.
getting a special guest on.
Go on.
Sorry.
See, no this Saturday coming, but next Saturday, it's Andrina that comes on. She knows a psychic, and the psychic might be on. So there you go.
That sounds good. Sorry, Steve.
Need
Go
a
on, carry on,
hammer.
mate. What was I gonna say? That's what I was saying. Like, what
That's
was I
that
gonna
dementia
say?
again.
I had an experience that you say about heaven and hell. I was with my friend. This is just one of two. I'm gonna make it quick. I was with my friend Pat, and I used to smoke a lot of weed and be a bit of a bum and not doing. I didn't really have. I don't think I had a job at the time, or maybe I did, but I was being slacky and just like lazy and whatever. And I was with my mate Pat, and I was thinking about these things. I was sitting in the back of his car. He was on his own. He was sitting in the front. For some reason, I was just sitting in the back. And he's driving along, and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh man, I'm an absolute waste." And for no reason, my mate Pat came out with, "You need to sort your fucking self out, son." Mama language. He just randomly said it out of nowhere. It just came out of his mouth, and I was just like, "Bloody hell!" It's like, where on earth did that come from? Yeah. And I was like, someone's come through him and said it. Like, he just randomly came out of it, and for no reason. I asked him, what are you talking about, mate? And he's just like, I don't know, just thought I'd say it. But he wasn't even talking to me about it. He just came out of it. And then the next day or the following couple of days, I was thinking to myself, I'm letting myself down. I'm lazy. I don't do well. Like, I'm not worthy of going to heaven. This was kind of my mentality and what I was thinking. I walked into the forest at the bottom of my road, and I had all these negative thoughts in my mind. Anyway, I came back out from the forest, and I was like, "Oh, God's not going to let me go to heaven. I'm not deserving." Blah blah blah. Anyway, came out of this garages area that leads to the forest, and I looked up the road, and there was a white cat laying in the middle of the road, and I was just like, "Oh, something's happened to the cat." Like, so I just immediately sort of run up to go and see if the cat's all right. I thought it'd been hit by a car or something like that, and the cat just scarpered off. And then I was like, "Oh right, so you answered my question." Because what I was saying to myself and putting out there was like, I'm not worthy of going to heaven, or I've done something, I'm a bad person. And the answer I got was, look, you've gone to help that cat. You didn't have to help that cat. That shows that you are a good person, you know? For me, that was the sort of what I kind of got from it.
It's like a beginning of being kicked up the arse and saying, look, you're going the right way now.
Yeah. And for that to just randomly happen, like, I never see cats laying in the middle of the road. And for me to even, like, I do care about everything. I care about all living insects. And if I kill like a spider, I feel really bad about it. And I'll like apologize to God and say, like, I'm really sorry, like, not forgive me, kind of thing. Because I don't like killing anything. Like, it's not in my nature. So yeah, that's just the way I am.
I keep bloody seeing running around, and I'm thinking I'm going to empty that cupboard later. So that spider gets any bigger, comes creeping up with more spiders.
Catch it with a glass.
And I'll be saying, sorry, God, I've killed one of your creatures, but you shouldn't have let it in the cupboard.
It's true though. And, oh, what's happened to Chris? He's just.
Yeah, I do have my fears,
especially
like, I don't like being in the dark. And because last year I was going through a lot of like cyberbullying, hate, and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was suicidal at one time. And you know, I was able to find out who it was and get him arrested, and it's still going on at the moment. Yeah. But because my channel had been like kind of like ripped apart because all this crap would happen last year, I wanted to do something else. And it, like someone told me to look on YouTube and watch some bushcrafting. So I started bushcrafting.
Bushcraft.
I just wanted to do it. And what bushcrafting is, it's like survival out in the woodlands. You go out and you make like shelters and camp out, and you know you make fires, and you know you take food with you and cook. And it's a bit like camping, but it's not like camping in a tent. It's like making shelters, temporary shelters out of wood.
All right.
And like falling down trees and stuff. Well, I thought, yeah, you know, maybe that's something I need to do. And I've been doing it for like the last 4 or 5 months now. And I've actually near enough finished building my own little cabin over there.
Nice. Yeah.
I used to like, because what it was, I used to do a lot of milk detecting as well, yeah. And I went to, you know, I went over my local common, which I'd done a lot of paranormal investigations over there, and I thought I'd go over there, you know, do some milk detecting. And the you know, like the sheriffs over there who goes around, you know, making sure things are going on all right at the common, saw me and said, "You can't be milk detecting now." And I was having a little bit of an argument, saying, "Look, there's no on your like website that I can't milk detect." He goes, "No, it's not so much detecting; it's digging. You're digging up the ground. You know, you could be destroying like wildlife and you know, important fungus and stuff like that." So I thought, oh, fair enough, you know. And I just got my gear and I walked off. I didn't want to go home, so I jumped on a bus and I started heading further out where the farmlands were, to see if I could get permission. Well, I jumped off the bus because I saw some woodlands, and I went in this woodland and I completely got lost. Didn't know where it was, and I ended up coming out where this horse farm was. And you know, I shouted out to see if anyone was there. No one was there, but there was a car there. So I thought, well, maybe like he's on the fields and, you know, I can't see him, so I was going to leave. So as I started walking down, I saw this police officer, and I started talking to him. And I was asking him about, you know, if there's any place I can do milk detecting. He goes, "Well, why don't you ask him? He's got land." I said, "Yeah, I've just been up there, no one's there." He goes, "Well, his car's there, it's definitely there. Just go through the gate and call out." So I went through the gate and I called out, and I spoke to this guy named Ron, and he's 76 years old. And I just got chatting with him. I said, "Look, you know, is there any chance I can do metal detecting on your land?" He goes, "You know what? Funny enough, I used to have a guy here who used to metal detect on my land, but he died a few years ago. And you know, he found a few bits and pieces. But yeah, you know, if you want to metal detect." So you know, I was metal detecting on this. It's not like a proper farm. It's like a pony farm, one of the kind of things. Yeah. So he gave me permission to actually milk detect on there. And, you know, if thinking about 4 or 5 months ago, we had that really crappy, horrible, wet, rainy, cold weather all the time, didn't we? So I thought, well, if I'm coming up here milk detecting, I need somewhere to go. I can't really go in like, you know, the horses stables and keep sheltering over there. So I asked the landowner if I could build a temporary, you know, like shelter. He said, "Knock yourself out, mate. Knock yourself out." So that's what I've been doing, you know, over the last 4 months. I built myself, it looks like a little cabin.
Nice.
2 windows, I've got doors, you know. I'll get Chris to post my other channel out in a little while.
He just disappeared, didn't he? Google locked me out trying to get back into YouTube, but yeah, they've got to have it. They're doing all sorts of random stuff lately.
Yeah, well, anyway,
they've been blocking. Go on.
So I've built my little shelter over there. You know, I've got 2 windows, a door. You know, the roof I need to redo again because I've got water coming through the tarp. Got to do the back wall. Yeah. And just recently, I bought myself one of those wildlife cameras.
Oh, right, ones that sensor cameras.
Yeah. Well, I put one of them up there a couple of weeks ago and left it up there for 4 days.
Yeah.
And when I went back up there, I bought the memory card home, and on the video, 9:20 in the evening, 2 days since it was up there, he actually got activated, and you can see like an image of a female from the early times, you know, wearing like a cloak and a hood, standing outside the shelter.
No.
Yeah, seriously, it's on the video.
Oh, shit. You need to get a night vision camera there, mate.
I do have night vision cameras because I've got some device where I do paranormal investigating and stuff like that. You know, the negative is I don't like being out in the dark on my own. So the reason I built that shelter isn't because just for metal detecting if it starts raining. I want to try and conquer my fear of being out in the dark on my own. I know, like I've watched the videos. I said, like some people when they go out for the first time and camp out in the woodlands, because the landowner has got some woodlands there. That's where I've built it. It can be very scary because your brain isn't kind of in that mode where you're picking up all those unusual noises because you're more sensitive to the surroundings in your own home and around your location.
Yeah.
When you're in the woods, it's completely different. You're going to hear I'm definitely going to hear footsteps from the horses. You probably hear probably people walking their dogs way in the back, because at the back of his property you've got like another big woodland, which is a forestry commission, and it's two little woodlands at the back there. So you're going to probably hear people, calling their dogs. Welcome back, Chris. So you're going.
I was signed. My YouTube account had signed me out.
Oh no, you've got to get.
See, it's when you start.
Go on.
No, my laptop's fine, and my YouTube signed me out.
Yeah, you got to get a VPN, mate. I don't know, it might be something going through you.
Because we're talking conspiracy. I'm just about to end the live stream anyway, because it's been our 1 hour thing anyway.
Fair enough.
So Steve, will you be on Saturday, Steve? Doing the ghost
stuff?
I've
got Saturday. Tomorrow I won't be on because I'm going to be doing a stream. I might get John back on tomorrow. And if you're around, you want to come. And Lewis, if you're around tomorrow.
Cool. What do you mean tomorrow? Saturday.
Saturday.
No, yeah, I should be around on Saturday.
Right, I'll catch you all later then, guys, and thanks for all coming.
Yeah, thanks for coming, everyone. It's been lovely having you messaging.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Take care.
See you guys. Bye.
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 Podcast.